Welcome back, Tarot fam. We are going to be taking some things apart and seeing if the Princess Charlotte is going to be just like the current Princess Royal. We'll be right back. Hi all, welcome back. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. And in this video, we are going to be talking about the royal children that are growing up and coming of age. We are featuring Princess Charlotte in this one. So I hope you enjoyed part 1 with Prince George. Part 2 is Princess Charlotte. Guess who part 3 is going to be? Part 3 is going to be our adorable Louis. And then we're going to talk about some other things in part 4 and part 5. Those parts are going to be exclusive membership only drops. So if you want to see them and see how the Sussex cousins and the Wales cousins mix it up, you're going to have to become a member. So hit the membership button down below. It's a reasonable price. You get to have exclusive access to all of my videos early. You also will get private readings for you guys, a private link for a discounted reading with me, and also every month there is an opportunity to win a free reading with me. So membership has its privileges. Come on over and hang out with us. Let's talk about Charlotte. So guys, we really want to see if Charlotte is going to carve out her own role, or if she's going to remain in the supporting role as we're seeing with the current Princess Royal. For those of you that are new to this channel, I am a huge fan of Princess Anne. I think she is amazing, and I think she would have made a great queen. So let's see what we unpack about Charlotte. She was born on May 2nd, 2015. She is third in line to the throne. Obviously, if you don't know, women can ascend to the throne in Great Britain. It is something that we saw with our Queen Elizabeth. Changes in the succession law means that she did not get displaced by her brother Louis because she is female. So it's awesome. She is in a very unusual historic position because she is a senior princess who retains her line in the succession. So it's a little bit different. There are a lot of commentators that do discuss her strong aspects. We can see her shaping up to be a very strong personality type. So let's check this out. We're going to do a 5-card spread on her. If you have not hit the like yet, hit the like. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, give us a subscribe. You can always unsubscribe if you don't like it. But I want to remind everybody, we are not dipping into intimate issues here. I typically do not read for children or read on children like this as I would for an adult. But what we're looking at is some of the archetypal aspects of her relationship with her brother and her relationship to her role. We're going to see what kind of strength she brings to it as well. Let's bring up that card view, guys. And let's giddy up, buttercups. You ready? Charlotte's developing archetype is the 4 of Wands. Very, very careful about helping out. And her relationship with George is the Devil in reverse. She knows when to be a supplicant, I guess, subjugate herself. What about her relationship with the royal rules and traditions? Is she a traditionalist? That is a traditionalist with the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom. Independent role she may eventually claim. 3 of Wands. Now that's wild because the 3 of Wands, I always tell my students, think of it like this is an admiral who has sent his ships out to sea and he's equipped them with everything that he can, but he's not out there. He can't affect the future. This is someone who is delegating and trusting those that are around her, that she is empowered or emboldened. So this really is our Charlotte saying, I have a place, but it is not necessarily a place of supreme power or significant influence at all times, which is kind of neat because she does assume some of that responsibility part of the time. Long-term influence on the monarchy. Hierophant right there. She's always going to respect the crown and the hierarchy, the Hierophant there. Current thoughts on what is her position. She is very content not to go out there and fire up the whole world. She is very content to watch and wait. I like that about her. She's ready to watch and wait, and then she will weigh her reaction. There's something about Charlotte's energy that I get, that she is not a reactive person. And perhaps this is from her great auntie Anne. Perhaps it is from her great auntie Anne, because Auntie Anne, even, I'm sorry that I'm saying Auntie Anne, the Princess Royal, even when she had the kidnapping attempt, she took a beat and she said, not bloody likely, when they said, you know, come with me, not bloody likely. She took a beat. And I think that Charlotte is one of those types that will consider and weigh her actions before she executes what her intended behavior is. So pretty cool. So is she a protector, an advisor, a diplomat, or a reformer? So is she a protector? Only to those to whom she serves. So will she protect her brother? Absolutely. Advisor. She will have the soft power of the females. That's you know, with the emperor in tarot commands, and the empress, she cultivates and manipulates and moves things. Likewise, in the royal court of the tarot, the queens decorate and bedazzle, whereas the kings manage over time. So I think this soft kind of discussion from her as an advisor is very good. What about the diplomat part? She is going to be a little bit frank. This is something this is a strength that I think she has naturally. I think she's going to have to be trained to be less acerbic is one of my favorite words, but it's not acerbic. Less frank. She will be a little bit too blunt. And I think that that's a reflex to seeing some of the male dominated situations that her mother and father have been in, the current Prince and Princess of Wales. So what about, I don't think she's going to be a great diplomat. I think she's going to be much more opinionated than she could be. What about a reformer? Is she willing to reform? Absolutely not. She does not want to do any kind of reform. And guys, again, this is the Llewellyn Classic deck. I love this deck. It's my mini. So is it likely that she will become George's closest royal confidant? She will be a voice, but a voice of reason, because she can be. That blood relation, that sister and brother bond, allows her to tell him what he really needs to hear. And I think there will be times, not frequent and not public, where she takes him down off the throne and says, hey, you got to think like a man, not like a monarch in this moment. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that that is very much a good thing. With the whole dilemma with Harry and Megxit, I had often said that King Charles was torn between being a man, a father, and a monarch. And I think that Princess Charlotte is going to provide advice, to George the man rather than George the brother, the monarch, whatever he may be. So I think that that's kind of nice that she'll be able to give him a warts and all kind of perspective. Does she have an easier time with public duty than the heir? Is she set up to have an easier time than the heir? She's got a sharp tongue, kids. And I do think that this is influence from Princess Anne. I think Princess Anne has said, because Princess Anne lived through very, very exciting time as far as being a woman, and she saw the whole course of feminism as it unraveled 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s. She into the 80s, into the 90s, into now, like, I mean, still got issues, but I think that she is being empowered through counsel with the Princess Royal to have her voice. You know, for all the squawking and screaming that Meghan Markle says about having her voice, having a voice, she doesn't say a whole lot. I think that Charlotte is being encouraged to speak less, but speak bigger when you do. Have something of value. Don't just talk for the sake of talking. Don't just grab microphones for the sake of grabbing microphones, Meghan Markle. So I do think that they are teaching her to walk with a big stick, but stop walking every now and then and listen. So, which I think is difficult for Charlotte, because I do think she has a lot of opinions. So, does she have an easier relationship? Does she have an easier relationship with public duty than her brothers? I think there are parts that are distasteful to her. But I do think that she rises to the occasion. She's an A student, this kid. You know, those overachieving or high achieving, I don't want to say overachieving, but high achieving young persons, she is one of those, and she gets it done. So I think certainly she's going to fall right into that. Did I answer that? Drop questions down below if I didn't. Could she possibly be more popular than her brother? She will be visible, but if there is any popularity wars, I think she will pull them back. And I do think that directive will come from her. Pull those back. We don't need to be quite so bold all over the place. So will we see Princess Anne Mach 2? Or do we see a whole new individual out of Charlotte? Princess Anne Mach 2. Or something different. I got 2 cards on this. Something very different. I think we get out of Charlotte a very interesting blend. We've got that Lover's card with the 7 of Swords. We get a very interesting blend of cooperative feminine wiles. Cooperative feminine wiles. I don't think they try to rewrite the role for Charlotte. I think Princess Anne will go down in history as quite amazing, quite proficient at her job, and very interesting all at once. But I think that Charlotte is going to remain extraordinarily feminine, and very much like her mother. When her mother sits next to Donald Trump, I think we're going to see her flexing a lot of that femininity. Sometimes when women get into positions of power, I saw this great deal in corporate, they will become very manly. They won't want to wear skirts, they'll want to wear pants and suits, and it comes off as subtracting some of the femininity and some of the softness and the gifts that women have that they can bring to corporate, or in this case, royal family. So I think we'll see some very interesting stuff out of her. So for now, influence and authority are not always accompanied by the official title. Charlotte is going to bring up some interesting questions as she steps into support of her brother's leadership role and the leadership role that she is going to have on her own. So I'm very curious to see her grow up. I think it's going to be very fun. I think she's a charming young lady, and certainly beautiful, and seems to have gotten the best of both of her parents, as all of these kids do. In the next one, we are going to be talking about Louis. I know everybody loves Louis. He is so cute. But we're going to be talking about him. We're going to see what kind of energy he brings to the table. So I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for being here. Hit the like on the way out if you haven't already. See you in the next one. Part 3 coming up.